Hi, welcome to ML's Handicraft. This time we are gonna make a flying geese fabric basket. We have three sizes of this pattern, from the large to the small. Each of them can be used for the different purposes. We will be needed approximately half yard of the fabrics. Most of them are the scrap fabrics for the flying geese pattern. This video is prepared for the medium size. First, we need to cut all of our blocks for the flying geese, this patchwork pattern. You can choose the plain fabrics for the square one, and for the rectangle some flowers. To start the basket, we need to cut the blocks for the patchwork. For sides, let's use plain, and for the middle, use the floral fabrics. We need to mark with the friction ball pen from one corner to opposite to the wrong side of the fabric. I use this pen because with the iron it can disappear. Let's repeat this one for all fabrics. Take the floral fabric and our plain fabric from corner, put and pin it. Please adjust carefully. These fabrics should be facing each other, and the mark is on the side. And from one corner on the mark, one corner to opposite corner, we need to sew it. I use this stitch with the 2 mm length. For all blocks, we need to sew, and after that, we need to use a rotary cutter and a ruler. Trim 1/4 inch from the seams. After that, we need to fold and press out the plain part. And repeat for all blocks. Place a second plain square to the left corner of the rectangle, pin, and sew on the mark. We need to repeat for each blocks. As we did before, we need to cut all the blocks to separate from each other. And with the rotary cutter, we should trim from the seams 1/4 inch. And again, we need to fold up and iron each of the blocks. All the blocks are ready. Now I want to arrange the colors. Which colors need to match to each other. I have to pair all the blocks. This arrangement depends on you. Actually, for the floral fabric, you can use just one fabric instead of the different colors. Place each block, one of the bottom side to the other top side, and pin and sew in one side. The seam allowance is going to be 1/4 inch. Repeat for all the blocks. And after to sew the pairs, we need to sew all these pairs to each other as well. So all the blocks need to be sewn each other. Make a big block. After merging all the blocks, let's iron very well. Don't stretch so much. And I would like to trim the sides which is a little bit off from the sides to make my job easier later on. There shouldn't be so much of fabrics, just a bit trim. Flying geese block pattern is ready. Now we need to cut our plain fabrics for the C and the D part of the pattern. The only things we need to be careful over here, the C part and the D part. D part is the thinner part which is upside of the basket. C part is the thicker part, and it is going to go to the downside of the basket. Let's start from the bottom part, facing each other, block and the fabric, and let's start to pin from the middle. After pinning carefully, just sew it, and again seam allowance is 1/4 inch. We need to fold down and iron. Now the up part of the basket, place the D part at the up as we did before, from the middle pin, and sew it with the 1/4 inch seam allowance. Main part of the basket is ready. This is up and down part. And we need a foam. I use the Pellon Flex foam. All those materials has been listed at the bottom. Please check. The foam is ½ inch taller than this block. I'm arranging this block on the foam in the middle. I'm placed in the middle, and ½ inch from left hand side the foam is taller. Let's iron it. Now we need to quilt it as you desire. We need to cut our fabric and the foam for the E part of the pattern, which is bottom. Place the fabric on the foam and iron. And after ironing, let's quilt as you desire. Now the main body has been already quilted. We need to, there's a ½ inch. The foam is more than fabric. Folding the foam from corner to corner, side to side, and pin carefully. Before I would like to mark the seam allowance as ½ inch, ½ inch from the foam part, ½ inch from the fabric part. And this all on the mark. Let's trim from next to the seams. And the main body is ready. Let's take the bottom part. Now we are gonna pin main body and the bottom part. But before that, I like to mark from the middle parts. The bottom part circle is from one side to other. And pin carefully. This part can be a little bit challenging. And if you are not really experienced for the circle sewing, if it is going off, I recommend to hand sew, hemming before the machine sewing. We need to sew around, and the seam allowance is 1/2 inch. We need to trim next to the seams, so when we reverse it, it shouldn't be very bulky. Be careful in these cuttings. Basket is ready now. It looks pretty okay. Later on we will iron. Now it's the inside of the basket. Let's cut the fabric and the interface. It's a lightweight interface. Let's iron our interface and the fabric. Let's fold from middle facing each other. Let's pin the main body. In here the seam allowance is 1 centimeter. And this is the bottom part. Again, let's cut and fabrics and interface and iron. As we did for the outside of the basket, from the middle we need to mark, and from each marks let's pin. We need to sew around the circle, and seam allowance is 1 centimeter. Insert the inside lining into the outside part. From the top, pin. and we need to sew just at the edge. Just keeping them together, just at the edge. Take a bias tape, or you can make by yourself from the matching fabrics. There is a YouTube channel to make how to bias tape, and the length of the bias tape is changed according to the size of the basket. You can find the size for the bias tape in the pattern file. After folding and pressing from the middle bias tape, sew on the side with the 1 cm seam allowance. Fold it, press, and insert around the outside of the basket. On the top, pin, and let's sew it with 1 cm seam allowance. After this, we need to fold inside the bias tape. I like to pin first, carefully. After pinning, you can sew with the machine, but I like to do it with the hand sewing, with the invisible stitches. We finish it. Thank you very much for watching. See you again for the next project. Have a nice day.